Do not start an AI automation agency in 2025, okay? And this is coming from someone who has personally made hundreds of thousands of dollars with the AI agency model, which is something I'm going to show you in this video, which is the better alternative, okay? And there's many reasons to back this, but the first reason I can say with 100% confidence is what you're being told online to go sell AI automations to business owners to save them time and money and whatever. Here's the key point about that is they can go find someone to go build N8N and Zapier automations on Fiverr for $45. Why do you think business owners are going to go pay you tens of thousands of dollars for that service? They're not, okay? And that's the simple thing that people need to grasp when they understand that everyone is pushing something online because it is an AI trend, but it's not actually valuable. Again, I'm a teenager. I'm a 19-year-old who has publicly over the last 3 years made hundreds of thousands of dollars on the internet with what I'm about to show you here. And I'm going to tell you why it's the best model out there compared to something like an AI automation agency, because honestly, it just sucks. All right. So let's quickly break down what is the actual traditional AI automation agency offer. Okay. The first key point I want to say here is you are not solving the whole gap. You're just giving a brick. Okay. And I'm going to compare that to the offer. I'm going to show you what you should be doing is how you're giving people an entire bridge. Okay. And more on that in just a minute. But the key point here is it's a bunch of people who have read the $100 million book by Alex Ramosi and built their AI automation offer around that, okay? They're going to go acquire a client for $1,000 to $2,000 if they can acquire someone. That's a big, big if. And not be able to get them good results in the desired 30 days because that's most likely what happens, or get fired because the person realizes, oh wait, you're charging me thousands of dollars when I can find someone for $30 or $40 on Fiverr. And then what happens is you get a bunch of competition, aka people where now you're competing on price, you're not competing on value, because at the end of the day, the whole AI automation agency offer, all it is just trying to save business owners time. Very rarely is it actually saving them time and making them money, which is what you want to be doing. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay. This then leads to churn. Clients churn very fast. Then, you miss out on any upsold opportunities. You can't upsell current clients. And that is where the real money is made. Okay. So now you've essentially burnt down your business and you've just given them a brick. You've given them this automation that saves them time, but then they realize it was totally not worth it because you didn't make them money. Okay. That's the key point. Business owners want to make more money. They can save time from someone on Fiverr any day of the week. So you're probably sitting here, Carson, how do I help business owners make more money and save them time? Well, it's a great question you asked that, okay? And by the way, one thing I'll say before I go to this model I'm about to show you, please, if you're watching people on YouTube that push this, I want you should look for this from every YouTuber you watch out there to see if they're actually legit or not. Look for sales recordings of them actually closing people on this offer and stuff they preach. Look for their own agency that they run and see real proof of them doing it. Sales calls, back end. Look for this type of stuff, okay? If you can't find it, they're not doing it, all right? They're not selling you on that. They're just giving, they're selling the pickaxes and they're not actually mining gold, all right? We've seen this countless of times over again. Now, I want to talk about what the actual, I call it like the AI agency to make it very simple, but what is working well, really, really well in my eyes right now. Okay, so this is where we're going to solve and give people an entire bridge. We're not going to just give them a brick. We're going to give them the entire bridge. So this is essentially, this bridge is going to bridge someone from a prospect or a client who's in pain, aka wanting to make more money, is super constrained on their time, needs more deals, etc., and then client results. Okay, this could be any local business that you decide to work with, whatever industry your niche that you've decided to choose upon, and we're going to build the whole bridge for them. The way we're going to do this is by charging $5,000 to $10,000 upfront, not $1,000 to $2,000 for an automation. We're going to charge $5,000 to $10,000 upfront for our offer, our one singular offer. Okay, and inside this offer, we're going to give them 3 months inside of the kind of, I guess you could say, program and support of what you're going to build for them. So let's quickly break down the basics of every pretty much service-based business has a gap, whether it's roofers, real estate agents, solar companies, etc. They all have these same problems. Number one, they need to get leads. That's number one. Number two, they need to turn these leads and they need to get more sales appointments on their calendar so they can go close people. And then number three, they need to close deals. If they can accomplish these three things, money is made, okay? But the key point here is, how do we as a agency solve all three of these problems? Or how do we solve just the main key problems that not only will, again, save them time so they're not having to find leads themselves, but make them money? Because what's going to happen when you sell AI automations is they realize, okay, if you built me some automation, why do I pay you monthly for it? I'm going to just fire you. And that's what ends up happening, okay? Because they can go find other people for cheaper. That's the whole point here. With this model I just showed you, you are competing on price with the AI automation agency model, okay? People preach it on YouTube, but very few people actually execute it, if many at all right? And that's debatable if those people actually do, okay? What's likely is they're doing something similar to this, because this is actually what I see a lot of people doing right now, okay? So we need to solve these three problems. So we need to get leads, okay, generate leads. We need to turn these leads into sales appointments and get appointments on our client's calendar, whether it be a realtor, a roofer, whatever, and then close these deals, okay? Of course, we can't close the deals for them, but we want to facilitate and help the process as much as possible, which will end up them making money. So let's talk about quickly how we're going to do this, and then let's talk about the details of actually how this all works, okay? Because I've kind of mapped it out here. So number one, I will preface this by saying, when you go and start an AI agency in this model I'm showing you right here, there's countless of resources, 5-hour courses, 7-day challenges, from me starting from zero, brand new business, scaling all the way up, and I made I think I closed $10,000 worth of deals completely raw on my channel with sales calls included, literally everything. It's like a 2-hour long video. When you start this business, I do not recommend you to outsource everything immediately. But the whole goal is you can build a team, and over time, you're not a slave to the business as a lot of these AI automation guys are, or just most business owners are, to be honest. Like, most business owners are slaves to their clients because they don't know how to properly outsource themselves, okay? But I'm going to preface that with, it doesn't make sense to go hire people and go build a team unless you've actually done the work yourself or you have a lot of money. Those two things. One of those two, I really recommend most of you guys watching this, when you get clients, do the fulfillment for the first few. You will learn so much, so then when you go hire people, you know what to look for, all right? I've used countless analogies on my channel before, but it's like trying to teach someone how to ice skate when you've never actually done ice skating yourself before. Like, you can't teach it. It's super, super hard. You can read a bunch of books on boxing, but the person who steps in the ring one day and just does a little bit of training is going to beat the person who did 100 hours of studying. So please, for your first few clients, if you don't have a lot of money, like lots of money, and you're sitting here and you're probably just going to outsource the whole business because you have the capital, learn it yourself. I don't want to spend too much time on that, but the way you can outsource it is you can hire white label marketing agencies to run the ads for your clients. So getting leads, this portion we're going to run Facebook and Instagram ads for clients. This is going to get them leads. So social media ads, very basic social media, almost marketing agency offer. And that's what I started with on my YouTube channel. Okay, that was the first business I started. And we're going to do this for them, completely done for you. Second thing is we're going to turn these leads that opt in through these ads into appointments, okay? And I'm going to talk about the tools and resources you can do to do this, but there's a really, really good tool right now, a new AI caller that I've barely mentioned on my channel. It's not a brand new platform, but it is a really up and coming platform that's working really well right now. And I'm going to show you guys that in this video as well, that you can build for your clients. But essentially, you're going to build an AI agent for your clients that will call. Okay, it's a human sounding AI caller that will call up all these leads that opt in and book into appointments. Okay, the benefit of that is AI agents don't have sick days. You give it a script, you train it once, and then boom, it keeps going. Like, no vacations, no sick days, no paid leave, nothing. Like, they're always there. And those sales, marketers, people who are watching this, you guys know this, but speed to lead is arguably the most important thing when it comes to running ads. How fast do you reach out and contact leads? I think there's a statistic, I saw it maybe from Alex Ramosi, that said, if you call the leads that opt in within the first 5 minutes, there's a 300% more likely chance that you're actually going to connect with them and book them into an actual sales appointment. So all these AI agents do this completely automatically. You don't have to rely on other people and humans to do it, which will have human errors. All right. So we're going to use a tool that I'm going to mention in this video on how to build these. Okay. So we're running ads. We're building AI callers to book these leads into appointments for our clients. And there's a CRM and stuff. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. And then closing deals. This, I like to say, is optional. Totally optional. All right. I really think that when it comes to closing deals, if you let's say you're working with real estate agents. If you've never been a real estate agent before, it's going to be hard to critique them on their sales because Like, from my perspective, like if someone came to me who has never been in my industry before and started tweaking me on my sales stuff, unless they're a really, really well-known good salesperson, I'd be like, dude, like you don't know what you're talking about. And respectfully, right? And it goes both ways. So unless you have really hands-on experience with the industry that you're working with, or you're really good at sales, I'd recommend to stay away from this, because these two things I just showed you here, the getting leads and getting appointments, are the main two key things anyways. But this is kind of like an add-on bonus that you can add. So back to what I was saying. So the whole goal is here, we're going to get a client for, that pays us like $5,000. You can start lower, all right? People are paying, like just for context, $10,000 plus for systems like this, all right? So for me at the scale I'm at today, this is what we're charging, okay, within my own business. Does that make sense for everyone watching this and starting a brand new business here? No, okay, it probably doesn't make sense. And if you don't have the confidence or the sales ability, I totally understand, because I was in your shoes as well. And again, you can look back on my channel. You can look back to me being 16 years old, like totally like in the weeds trying to get this whole business stuff. Like I didn't understand it. And I looked not the part whatsoever. So the key thing is here is like, if you need to charge lower, totally fine if you want to charge $2,000 to $3,000, even for this entire system. But the key point is like for your first few clients, I tell this to everyone, regardless if you're charging $1,000 or you're charging $10,000, the goal is the experience you get from these first few clients to build them as case studies, because this is a service that business owners really, really want. The reason why is because who wouldn't want more leads that are turned into appointments that then you can just show up to sales calls and the agency or whatever, whoever you hired, does all the rest. And it's only for, $3-4 grand, $5 grand, when people are paying you like tens of thousands of dollars for your local business service, and you're getting a bunch of opportunities from this agency. That's why it's good. And it's also a 3-month program that you're giving to them, like I showed right here. So you're going to acquire a client. They're going to pay you, let's say, $5,000. You're going to give them amazing results after the 3-month term. Okay. Time is on your side. You have 3 months. You don't have 2 days to deliver some automation service. Number 2 is you provide better service with next gen tech. This is a huge thing that people don't talk about, is especially with these AI services and AI agents you're building into these businesses that make them new money and that make them more money. It's getting better and better as the days goes on. This AI race is nowhere near over. All right. This is just the start. So what this means is as the tech gets better, the better we can make our offer and the more we can add to it, AKA the more businesses want us more and the more we can charge. So it's like this infinite loop. It's like this flywheel of as time goes on, time is actually on our side. And we have enough time to deliver them results because we have 3 months. So that then leads to not much churn, okay? Not churn, if any churn, ideally, on clients. And then you can upsell on data support and management, etc. And that could be like $1,000 to $2,000 a month. So for example here, if I give you kind of like a hypothetical, once you build an AI caller for them, okay, and you're running ads for them, ads is something that always will have to be managed. Regardless what it is, it's not like you build it one and done and it can run for years. Ads is something that will need to be checked upon, not daily, but like depending on how much you're spending, it could be a few times a week. It could be, once a week. It could be, I would say that's like the minimum. Like once a week, at least you're checking on the ads, looking at the metrics, etc. So that's something that always has to be managed because ads will fatigue. So you have to make new ads for your clients as the ads go on. AI callers, you build this for them. It is a one and done thing, but guess what? You're going to find out that clients want more of these. They want more AI callers because you can get super creative here. All right. And I'm going to show you the platform here I recommend in a minute. But with AI callers today, you can set up different agents to call leads when they opt in. A separate agent for a 24-hour reminder calls them up before their appointment, 24 hours before, calls them, confirms the appointment, makes sure they're going to show up. And if they can't show up and they said, hey, I have a last minute doctor's appointment, can't show up to the meeting, guess what? You can literally have the bot, the agent, the literal robot, the AI, reschedule them to a new time on the calendar. So this is already the start. And this has been a thing for a little bit for totally replacing front desks, any receptionists, anything like that. And that's a whole nother service you could offer to med spas, to clinics, totally replacing their front desk with an AI. But that's a whole nother idea and kind of thing you can take into this as well. So that is the goal here. And then you can charge monthly after these 3 months, like $1,000 to $2,000 a month for just a bunch of like data support management, AI caller management, and then ads management, of course. Okay. And that's what we like to call the infinite realm of, or the realm of infinite returns, essentially. Because what happens is once you have a happy client, they refer friends, boom, it's like this cycle. It's just like a bunch of referrals. You'll start to see a bunch of referrals come through. And those of you guys that have ran agencies like myself, you guys know that like referrals are some of the best clients to have, because once they've been referred to someone that they trust, the chances of them refunding, being upset, disputing, anything like that is close to zero. The sales call of getting them on board to actually close them is so easy. It's like they have your credit card ready. And the cool part about all this is the happy client then turns into monthly recurring revenue. You put that client on a support plan. And then if you really, really build a good relationship with the clients, you can get what's called company growth commission, okay, or almost equity or profit share in their business in return to the value you're bringing. And that's where the high scale agencies are at today. The guys that are pulling hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars a month. And that's its whole industry in itself, okay? Of course, this model I'm showing you right here, this is super sustainable to like that 1 to 200K a month mark. Once you get beyond that, even maybe 300K a month, once you get beyond that, you have to start innovating. Because then what happens is, I don't have to get into the crazy details here, but those of you guys that run really high scale agencies, if you're watching this, you guys know what I mean. The more clients you get, so let's say you're getting 15 new clients a month, okay? But your churn is like, let's say 5% of all your clients. But that 5% of your total clients is like 10 to 15 people. What happens is like it's very hard to scale. Like you almost hit a bit of a ceiling because your churn is pretty much what you're getting in clients wise every single month. So you're kind of stuck at this like plateau. And that's where a lot of businesses, especially in this model, get fizzled out. But again, that's not until that 200, 300K a month mark range, I would say. And also that's where this kind of play comes in, where you start to actually build equity and get equity in your clients' businesses that are successful and you're bringing them a lot of value. So let's quickly talk about the results side of things. And then I want to talk about the actual, I guess platforms you can use yourself. Looks like closing. I'm going to quickly respell this here. But essentially, you acquire clients for 5K, zero effort, as in you do the lead generation, you get the appointments, and then you help them with the closing. Okay, these three things I just mentioned here. So if you wanted to outsource all this stuff, here's what you can do. So with lead gen, you can pay white label marketing agencies to handle all of the fulfillment. And what I mean by this is other agencies out there, as in very ad specialized agencies, that will just take on your clients for you for $500 a month or $300 a month, whatever the price is. I'll give you guys an example right here. Actually, I'll just give it in just a minute of someone or just a company I've used before for this. And it keeps your margins very high because they're cheap and they do a good job. Now, when it comes to booking them appointments and building the AI caller, this is, of course, 100% done through AI. We have an internal AI developer now. All right. So we have a full-time AI developer, works at the company. He builds out everything for our clients and also people inside of my private AI agency mastermind, where essentially I help people start this type of business model. And it's like a group community of all this stuff. And we give access to our developer to those people inside. But here's the key thing is you don't have to have someone full-time when you're starting. What makes more sense is having someone that is just part-time or a contractor. You can find these people on Upwork. You can find them on Fiverr. You can find them on these platforms. But you have to really do some vetting and make sure they are specialized in the platforms and they really know what they're doing when it comes to AI caller setup. Lastly is the closing. So this is like create one-time SOPs, guides, or place one-time almost like, I guess you could say VAs to help with sales scripts and stuff for your clients. Again, totally optional. I would recommend most of you guys watching this absolutely do not do that last one, only unless you have super specialized experience with the industry that you're working with. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about the platforms. All right. So what you can do here is white label marketing agency. You can use Stealth. All right. I've used them before and I've talked about them before. But Stealth Manager, if I show right here, you guys can look up their website. They do great work. As you can see here, their monthly price is $690. I think when I worked with them, it was like $500. So I'm sure if you guys negotiate, do some sales negotiation on them, they'll go lower. Even if you say you're from my channel or something, I'm sure they'll give you a discount. So you guys can look them up. But essentially, with Stealth, they will totally be your account manager, media buyer, designer, everything. They'll make all the ads, do everything for your clients, and it's just a peace of mind where you don't really have to worry about it. Here's the one thing I'll repeat one more time. I recommend you guys to learn these skills. I recommend you guys to not hire agencies unless you have either no time and you're working full-time jobs or you have kids, or you just, I guess, have a lot of money, and you can just disposably throw income or anything you make from clients at this stuff, and you don't necessarily care about the crazy high 80-90% margins on this business, and you're fine with more 60% because this model is very high margin. Now, so learn ads. Learn this stuff I'm talking about if you've got the time, which most of you quite honestly do. Now, when it comes to the actual AI callers, there's a very good tool right now that I was mentioning earlier. It is called Retail AI. Okay, you guys can look them up. They are absolutely killing it right now. This is the new tool that we have fully switched everyone, all of our clients, all of the people in the mastermind, most of them, and our developer, our actual internal full-time AI developer, has fully switched all of our clients, like I said, everyone, to this platform, Retail AI. Okay, they connect directly with the CRM I recommend all of you guys to use, called the GoHighLevel, and there's a pretty good integration. It's still getting better, and I'm telling you guys right now, I've recommended SimFlow in the past on my channel. This is better. All right, there's also one more tool you guys can use. It's called Vappy, but for most of you guys, unless you're a really high coder developer, Retail is the way to go. So you can always do it for free. You don't need to know how to code or anything. Like if you're sitting here like, Carson, I don't know how to code. I don't know all this tech stuff. I don't either. All right, I quite frankly don't either. Retail's pricing is some of the best pricing I've seen. It says right here, but they have per minute they charge you. I'm not sure if it will say right here. So right here. So they already have GPT-5 out that you can use for all of your agents that you build. As you can see here on the right, here's the LLM costs, pretty much cost per minute, everything. So it is 11 cents per minute, essentially, or maybe 12 cents per minute. GPT-5, obviously, actually a little bit cheaper, which is kind of interesting. And yeah, you guys can do all the price comparisons and stuff on your own end. Once you get into the platform here, you can just build knowledge bases. You build your agents, you create an agent, voice agent or chat agent. You can do all the stuff within this platform. You can see history, batch calls, phone numbers, analytics, etc. You guys can connect this to a bunch of different platforms. The main one I recommend you connect to is called GoHighLevel. I'm a very big fan of GoHighLevel. Those of you guys that know me, I have all my automations, calendars, everything. This is the one and done CRM that you guys should definitely look into if you're not already using it. I guess I would just guide you guys to look at my 5-hour course on my channel, because I have like literally 5 hours of content going through all this stuff. So you guys can learn A to Z. It should be like the pinned video on my channel. You guys can watch this after this video and so on. Okay, so GoHighLevel directly with Retail. Really, really highly recommend. It does great stuff. And yeah, that's essentially what you guys can use for the AI caller that you'll build for your clients. And you can hire developers, like I was just talking about, to do this stuff for you. Would I recommend that off the bat? That is preference. I really think ads is the skill you should learn off the bat. And then you can hire stuff like building AI callers off the bat if you would like, but I think it's always good to, like I said, learn the skills. And the last thing is you can use ChatGPT/DeepSeek to help generate professional sales scripts for the businesses, and that would kind of count, I guess, as you can maybe consider this, I guess pillar 3, out of this 3-pillar system. So that ultimately is how you're able to give your clients a really good service and have them stay around. Because the last thing as agency owners, you guys know this if you guys have ran an agency, or something to know if you're going into this whole business model, the last thing you want to have is a churn and burn business model. I've been there, all right, and I've publicly been there on this YouTube channel. I had a business where clients would constantly join and then constantly leave. It is the most stressful. Like, it literally, you're almost better off working at McDonald's or getting a job, because the stress tolerance you need to have for just the petty work and the petty things you have to do, it's like, it's not worth it. You want to build a really good product, have super happy clients, and just overall have a good experience scaling your business, even if it means you're scaling at a little bit of a slower pace. But guys, from my experience, this model is scaling very, very fast. So that's how you can charge $5,000 to $10,000 completely upfront for an AI service, totally ditching the traditional AI automation agency model, which I don't think will stay around much. I think actually AI is going to kill this model, which is kind of crazy. Like, I think AI will eventually just totally take over this whole automation, NAN, Zapier, connecting from those tools to business owners that need it and want to save time. I think AI will actually take that over. It's going to be very hard for AI to take over a service that you provide like this, where it's a full encompassing bridge and solution you're building for your clients. So guys, that being said, I really hope you found this video valuable. And that being said, that is it for this video. If you guys want to learn more about how to start a business like this, I really recommend. I have a AI agency mastermind that I mentioned earlier in this video. It should be the top link in the description below, where essentially you get access to all the resources, the websites, the funnels, everything I was kind of mentioning inside this video, but I didn't directly show it. I give it out all inside of there, as well as my developer you get access to, and a community of people actually scaling this model as well, with a bunch of different interviews and people talking about it on my channel that you can feel free to go check out. And yeah, guys, that being said, I really hope you found this video valuable. Like, subscribe as per usual, and I'm dropping bangers 2 times a week. I've been super consistent this year. And guys, hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.